You've always felt different. Not better, not worse, just not like everyone else. You watch people follow trends, chase approval, and repeat the same patterns. And you can't relate. You think differently. You question everything. You feel ahead of your time and somehow out of place in it. That's not a flaw. That's Aquarius. Today, you're going to understand why you think the way you do, why people are drawn to you but can't quite figure you out, and why being misunderstood has followed you your entire life. This is the real Aquarius personality, the genius, the rebel, the outsider. By the end of this video, you'll understand why your mind works differently, why you resist control and routine, why you feel emotionally distant but deeply human, why your loneliness isn't random, and why your role in the world is bigger than you think. If you're an Aquarius, or someone trying to understand one, this will change how you see everything. Let's break it down. You don't think in straight lines. You think in systems, patterns, futures. While others react to the present, you're already 10 steps ahead. You see how things connect, how society works, how it could work better. This is why people call you smart, but don't always understand you. You're not trying to show off your intelligence. You're just wired to think bigger. You question traditions not to be difficult, but because you refuse to accept something that doesn't make sense. Rules don't impress you. Logic does. Progress does. That's the Aquarius genius. But it comes at a cost, because when you see the future clearly, the present can feel painfully slow. You don't rebel loudly. You rebel quietly. You rebel by opting out, by not playing games, by refusing to perform for approval. Authority doesn't intimidate you. Hierarchy doesn't impress you. Power over others doesn't motivate you. You care about freedom, personal, mental, emotional. The moment you feel controlled, you pull away, even if no one notices. This is why jobs that trap you drain you. Why relationships that demand emotional performance exhaust you. Why routines suffocate you if they lack purpose. You weren't built to obey. You were built to innovate. And that terrifies people who need rules to feel safe. You can be surrounded by people and still feel alone, not because you don't like them, but because few people truly get you. You don't connect through small talk. You connect through ideas, truth, shared vision. Most social interaction feels shallow to you. You're friendly, polite, observant, but rarely fully present, because deep down you're always watching from the outside in. You don't want to fit in. You want to belong without losing yourself. That's the paradox of Aquarius. You care deeply about humanity as a whole, yet struggle with emotional intimacy one-on-one. People say you're emotionally distant. They're wrong. You feel deeply. You just don't express it in conventional ways. You process emotions intellectually first. You ask, why do I feel this? What caused it? What does it mean? This makes others think you're disconnected when in reality, you're self-contained. You don't react emotionally to prove attachment. You attach through loyalty, respect, and shared ideals. But if someone demands emotional reassurance instead of earning trust, you retreat. Not because you don't care, but because emotional dependency repels you. You want a partner, not a project, not a responsibility, not a rescue mission. You love freedom more than romance. That doesn't mean you don't want love. It means you won't trade your identity for it. You need space, mental autonomy, trust without surveillance. Jealousy exhausts you. Possessiveness shuts you down. Emotional pressure makes you disappear. But when someone understands you, respects your independence, and stimulates your mind, you become loyal, committed, unshakable. You don't fall easily, but when you do, it's intentional. You choose love. You don't surrender to it. Repetition drains your soul. Monotony makes you feel trapped. Predictability dulls your creativity. You need change, growth, new ideas. But here's the challenge. Without structure, your brilliance scatters. You start incredible things but struggle to finish them. You get bored once the excitement fades. You chase the future and forget the present. Your lesson isn't to become rigid. It's to build flexible systems that serve you, not cages that confine you. When you master this, you become unstoppable. You're not here to maintain the system. You're here to question it. Aquarius energy breaks outdated patterns, challenges social norms, pushes humanity forward. You're drawn to movements, ideas, technology, humanitarian causes. You care about the collective more than personal gain. That's why purely selfish ambition never fulfills you. You need purpose, impact, a sense that what you're doing matters. Even if that path isolates you, even if it costs you comfort, history remembers people like you long after they're gone. You outgrow people quickly, not because they're inferior, but because you evolve constantly. You change perspectives, beliefs, goals, and not everyone can keep up. So you detach, you move forward, you walk alone again. This loneliness isn't punishment, it's positioning. You're meant to walk paths that aren't crowded, to think thoughts that aren't popular, to live a life that doesn't make sense until later. But when you finally find your people, the ones who see you, not just tolerate you, the bond is rare and permanent. Here's the hard truth. Sometimes you hide behind logic to avoid pain. You detach before forms get messy. You intellectualize instead of feeling. You disappear instead of confronting. Not because you're heartless, but because vulnerability feels like loss of control. But real transformation for you happens when you allow yourself to feel, without analyzing. You don't need to solve every emotion. Some things just need to be experienced. Your growth begins when you stop observing life and start participating in it. When you evolve, you become a visionary who builds real impact, a rebel who creates instead of destroys, an outsider who leads without dominating, a thinker who feels deeply and honestly. You stop feeling misunderstood because you finally understand yourself, and once that happens, the world has no choice but to catch up. If this resonated with you, you already know this channel speaks your language. Like the video, it tells the algorithm this content matters. Subscribe, because we break down astrology without fluff, fear, or fantasy. And comment below, which part of the Aquarius personality hit you the hardest? Until next time.